This is Tech Vibe Radio, your front row seat to Pittsburgh's technology and innovation ecosystem. Tech Vibe is brought to you by Compunetics at compunetics.com, Chorus Call at choruscall.com, Highmark at highmark.com, Huntington Bank at huntington.com, Kindling at thekindlingagency.com, PNC Bank at pnc.com, and Savier at savier.com. Here are your hosts, Audrey Russo and Jonathan Kirsting of the Pittsburgh Technology Council, coming at you from the Huntington Bank studios. Good morning. Oh my goodness, Audrey, I tell you what, it's Sunday morning, and today's a day, we've got a story to tell today that I'm quite excited about because it goes back quite a bit of time, and I have a little bit of knowledge around it. There's a company way back in the day called Plus Consulting. I remember when a guy named Steve Smith founded it.
How many years ago? Like 20 some odd years
ago? It's got to be around 20-ish plus years.
Okay.
Which is dating myself to a certain degree. But I remember this guy starting this consultancy, taking a new twist on helping people solve really tough tech problems, growing it and growing it and growing it, and becoming this company we know today as ivision, which I don't think enough people know about ivision right now. So I'm excited to tell the story about ivision and just roots from Plus Consulting back in the day.
And Plus Consulting actually, and maybe Matt, who's going to join us in a minute, can tell us a little bit about the origins, because they were pretty hyper-focused, if I remember.
Exactly.
On CRMs, right? Because I remember that was their expertise. So it'll be really cool to hear, is that still the story? What's changed? What's different?
Much has changed since then. So we have Matt Siconolfi hanging out with us today. Matt, appreciate you hanging out with us here in Tech Vibe.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been an exciting experience, and look forward to, again, adding to the background of Plus into ivision and what we are today.
I feel like you're taking it to the next level now. You're taking it to the next generation. And I always get so excited when I see someone who has an idea like Steve did back in the day, and he threw himself into it and just kept growing it and growing it and growing it to where ivision's like, we want this to be part of our portfolio, which I think is cool. But Audrey, before we can jump into this, we got to know about Matt, right?
Yeah, let's talk about Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Matt Siconolfi. I'm a native to the region. I've been in the industry and tech space for almost 26 plus years at this point. I reside in the South Hills of Pittsburgh all my life, for the most part. Moved around for a little bit from jobs and employment. But I went to undergrad at Robert Morris University, at grad school at Carnegie Mellon University. Built my technology experience in this market, starting from a system administrator, level one, all the way up. I spent some roles as a CIO and a CTO on the customer side, and moved over to the partner side in the past 5 or 6 years. And now I'm a regional CTO and general manager for the Ohio Valley market for ivision. And really enjoying it. This is bringing me back to my roots. My network is here. The Pittsburgh community that's given me so much. Really just try to give back, and my whole group and people that have helped me along the way really have been instrumental to my career. And this is a way for me to provide that back as well, and also, champion for a company that really is in it for the relationship and really not vendor. Only segments, where you get a lot of that in this particular industry, where some of the larger markets and partners out there are transactional in nature. ivision's really trying to understand the client needs. So it's been a great relationship. The coordination and partnerships with Pittsburgh Technology Council has been fantastic. Yeah, it's been really great. And Audrey, you've been fantastic with us, and I really look forward to the continued relationship as we build it.
Love hearing it, man. Good
That's
stuff.
Cool. It's really been cool.
Yeah, and I always tell Audrey always says, pull up the laptop while you're out here so we can go to the website, because there's a lot on ivision. So if you go to ivision.com, and that's ivision.com, you can really see all the services. But you guys, I don't think there's a tech problem you guys can't tackle.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, again, part of the reason why ivision recruited out me and I looked for ivision was to have a partner that really is a full stack service technology partner. And a lot of companies say they are that, but a few actually do it. And the reason, the differentiator behind that, and the reason why I can say that with confidence, is we do have not just the architecture component in assessing a company, but we can implement, build, and anything we build, we can operate. And that's with our overlay of managed services. There are companies out there that do that, but there's a lot of companies also white label that service. We're doing this with ivision badge resources and employees to really get sticky with our customers. So that's really, again, across the technology stack, looking at, whether it's cybersecurity or public cloud, or, modern data workplace, data architecture, power automation. Those type of services are critical to the, business success of our customers.
And so if people are thinking about iVision, obviously they'll go to your website, but what would you say is your sweet spot?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I'll go back a little bit. You guys were, leading the conversation with the history of Plus. So going back a little ways, Plus was built on the foundation of, CRM, Salesforce, Dynamics. They also had a strong cybersecurity practice, along with some Microsoft practice. So when iVision came to the table and bought Plus Consulting and expanded their build, iVision comes with those services. We don't do Salesforce, we do Dynamics from a CRM perspective, but those services, very basically exacerbated because we have enormous amount of engineers and footprints across those spaces. And the 5 pillars really are cybersecurity, public cloud, data modern workplace, business applications, like I said, from a CRM perspective, and enterprise infrastructure. And again, overlaying those with a managed services play is really something, again, that prior Plus Consulting did not do.
Is that unique to overlay it like that? I think that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think, again, there's you run into a lot of partners who, again, maybe suggest they're going at the style of relationship partner for long term, but they're potentially, again, passing services through another company. We're really kind of manifesting that between our own group. We want to get in and understand current state of the customer's needs, help them decide what the right platform or services or implementation needs to be. And then, again, anything we do, be able to manage that if they want. Not all customers will want that, but that's where our greatest value is, because anything that we're implementing, we potentially could manage. We got to make sure that, again, we're double checking and doing everything right from a customer satisfaction perspective, because we could be taking it over, right? From a services perspective. But in terms of sweet spot, back to Audrey's original question, the cybersecurity, public cloud, and managed space is really big for us. We also are a managed Microsoft partner, which in the SMB space, there's only a few of those in the domestic U.S. We play one of those, and the reason we keep that level of partnership with Microsoft is because, again, we can manage people's Microsoft technology for them, whether that's an Azure cloud tenant or an Office 365 mobility productivity tenant. Those services, again, are foundational for most of the organizations that we work with. So that's really where we focus. But we do hardware and product resale, and we can procure.
Oh, do you? So what
Yes.
kinds of things? So people are listening.
Really, any of the major OEMs, whether it's Cisco, Palo, Fortinet, Broadcom, VMware. You think of any security product in your portfolio. Again, big Microsoft licensed reseller shop. But we do that really because most of our existing clients asked us to be turnkey. It's not the where we focus our growth.
You didn't imagine it, I bet.
What's that?
In the beginning, you didn't imagine it.
No, it wasn't something originally, built out. Again, services is the focus. I mean, the culture and the vision within iVision is services and being service oriented. And I can talk a little bit about that from our relationships we build within our client engagement values, which were really developed by Ritz-Carlton Leadership Academy, and which is kind of true to our heart. We can resell these components of services, software and hardware, but at the end of the day, we really are in it to build the service relationship, the sticky relationship with our customers at the end of the day. And again, Plus Consulting, that was an area that they didn't do managed, they didn't do product resale, a smaller consulting group, et cetera, across the board.
So what's one thing before we go to break from the Ritz-Carlton ethos that you want to tell us?
Perfect. Several years ago, the executive leadership team of iVision instituted the Ritz-Carlton to, based on their exemplary service, to help us build our customer engagement values. And we have 8 of them. But the one that drives our why, think about Simon Sinek and driving our why, it's earn clients for life every day. And we have our entire staff and resources recite that regularly. But the entire portfolio and vision and culture and philosophy drives around earning clients for every day for life.
Sounds like a good way to do business. That's for sure. Oh my goodness. Matt Siconolfi, thank you for hanging out. We have more. Keep on listening. If you just tuned in, we're talking to Matt from iVision. Go to ivision.com. We're going to come back and talk about more what's driving growth with iVision and talk about some tech trends that you're looking at and really what's going on in Pittsburgh. And I just love it hearing that what was Plus Consulting is now the Ohio Valley part of iVision. ivision, which I think is just fantastic stuff. So this is Jonathan Kirsting.
And this is Audrey Russo.
We are from the Pittsburgh Technology Council. We absolutely, positively just love helping our members, technology industry in general, succeed right here in Pittsburgh. Go to pghtech.org. We'll be right back after this quick break. CompuNetics is the leading developer of unified voice, video, and data collaboration and conferencing applications for the service provider, government, and unique workflow applications. The Summit Olympus and Evergreen platforms, driven by their encrypted user interfaces, enable powerful and secure collaboration. Combined with world-class support and innovative professional services, CompuNetics delivers the right solution every time. Learn more at compunetics.com. Every company needs to attract and keep talented people. To do it, you need a strong company story told by those who experience it every day, your employees. So invite your people to be your brand voice and let the Kindling Culture Agency gather and ignite your stories to engage and attract your people. Learn how at sparksomething.big.com. That's sparksomething.big.com. Your dial is set to Tech Vibe Radio, brought to you by CompuNetics, Chorus Call, Highmark, Huntington Bank, Kindling, PNC Bank, and Xavier. Here are your hosts, Audrey Russo and Jonathan Kirsting of the Pittsburgh Technology Council, coming at you from the Huntington Bank studios. Audrey, we are back in action here, hanging out with Matt Siconolfi from ivision. I love hearing the story about how ivision, pretty big company, I mean like 300 people across the country, coming in, buying Plus Consulting to make it the Ohio Valley office. It sounds like, man, territory going on there, Matt. And just the fact that you guys are out there helping companies solve really tough problems. They're yeah.
And you guys have an office, actually, in the Strip District,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, we have a new office right in the Smallman and Cigar Factory location.
So let's talk about, the services. We had a little bit of the history before we went to break. But what kinds of services differentiate you? Because, there's lots of people who, touch upon so many of the different pieces and parts that ivision does.
Well, I'll tell you this. Again, as you can see, there are a lot of options for customers to go out and look for services that we offer. The big differentiator with ivision is we're large enough to, support you, but not small enough to forget about you. And again, I have spent a good amount, 26 years of my career, a significant amount on the customer side. I know what I want out of a partner. I've also spent the last 6 or 7 years on the partner side, so I know what I want from a partner relationship from the partner side. There is a lot of companies, whether boutique all the way up to the large, 3-letter ones that you guys all can name, who often say that but don't actually provide it. And this is where as I started my tenure at ivision, I really found a home because we have the ability, again, to offer these services that some other companies do, but not at a scale where we are not going to be able to be, we're not going to be able to service the customer. And the same side, in the boutiques, a lot of times you're one resource or two resources away from them not being able to help you. Meaning, if they have attrition at all, then that one person that's you're doing a good job is gone away. The other thing that I like is, again, because we are largely services focused, as I described, we're in it for the annuity, no secret. We're in it for annuity revenue and that sticky relationship with our customers ongoing. We can provide savings on product and software and hardware resale. Not that we don't want to benefit from that with our customers, but it is an initial value out of our customer to show them, hey, we'll pass these through to be able to help you and get the services and implementation with you, because that's really where our heart and our strength is. At the end of the day, when it comes down to picking specific services, I go back to even managed services. There's a lot of companies out there that offer what they call managed services. We're doing this within largely badged employees within ivision. So you're getting that touch and feel, the philosophy that I just talked about, around clients for life and every day, and the client engagement values that I described. You're getting that out of those employees where, if you work with some companies that maybe pass that through a sub or a partner, it's disconnected, right? It's not turnkey at that point. So I think that's a value difference for us, as well as, again, the ability to elevate. I only have one call to make. If there's something I need to done for a client, it's one call. My CEO that, Audrey, you have met,
Right.
David Daggett's,
Yes.
he will be here in a heartbeat. He does reside
Right.
in Atlanta. But we've had a significant number of customers we've onboarded into our services portfolio in 2024. He's been and met every single one of them.
That's amazing.
Every time they need anything, even if it's just to have a conversation. And you don't get that a lot out of some of the corporations that I've worked with in the past in my career.
I feel like that underpins your whole philosophy with the Ritz-Carlton angles, right? I mean, that just plays so well into how people in Pittsburgh want to do business.
Yeah.
I mean, our tech industry, any industry, people in Pittsburgh, I think especially, really want to have that close relationship, not be 2 jumps away from getting help, but knowing they're calling their provider, that's who's helping them, not the sub that you had for it.
Yeah, and I to look at in my own backyard. I want to eat my own dog food. I do not want to position something that I'm not comfortable with
Right.
because it's my market and it's a tight network, right? So I'm very laser focused on point the things we do well. Again, if it's in the cybersecurity space, GRC compliance, data privacy, AI advisory. If it's in the public cloud, Azure, AWS space, if it's in the managed services, again, network, backup as a service, disaster recovery as a service, managed security services. And then from a Microsoft perspective, really across the whole stack, we do a significant amount of M&A and Microsoft Office 365 work. Those are all sweet spots for us, and we do a great job of them. And that's where I put my name on top of those to make sure when I'm delivering those customers that I work with and know personally, know that they're getting superior support.
So
service.
can you just give us a little bit of an insight into what are some of the things people are asking you for? Think about 2025.
Yeah, obviously, artificial intelligence comes to mind. Come 2021, we all became AI, artificial intelligence gurus, right? Because of consumer ChatGPT or what have you. We try to stay ahead of that with our customers. We don't want to scare people, but we also want to get them ready for, honestly, some of the same controls and pros and cons that come with a lot of technologies that have come before this. The difference is the speed and the involvement and how fast it's coming. So where we start, again, the whole mindset of our services lead philosophy is understanding where you are today. Again, back to certain partner relationships that happen, it's usually let's go to the future first and then figure out how to put that platform or service in or use this particular AI technology as an example without understanding the value, impact, cost, risks associated. So we really try to baseline that. But the evolution of AI, making sure our customers are advised on not just the benefits, but the cost to benefit, the cost to value, and again, the risks. Think about the new security posture that customers need to take on, because the same AI technology that we're adopting is also the same technologies that the bad actors are using.
The actors have it too.
To cause more issues.
Exactly.
Right. So we're really focused on that, but that's a huge driver in our current clients looking forward. We do various AI advisory engagements. We talk to customers about their strategic path. What are they trying to do? Is it just a board executive saying, hey, we want to get involved in AI and then just go and buying a product? Or is it actually looking at the business value and looking at an actual business process and saying, hey, can we improve it with this? Because again, you can go put products and platforms. There's AI in basically everything. There's AI in my microwave at this point, probably. So how do you take that out and only pick what's truly valuable for your corporation without overspending? And then there's also the build versus buy. There's a lot of our companies talking about should they build an AI platform or technology, or should they buy? And we advise, depending on the industry and the vertical they're looking for, the best direction for that as well. And you'll find that question come up in the executive boardrooms quite often.
And so you're recruiting right now. What are you looking for? What kind of people are you looking for?
Yeah, great question. So we're always, in my market, being in GM of sales, on my one hat is looking for strong senior sales executives that can help position and brand our company, right, in this market. Operationally, always looking for solid managed services, folks in the engineering group, operational folks that could do security or manage cloud, or manage networks. From a back office perspective, human resources, finance, other agents that help us with internal development with our own processes. We are also looking for that growth here, as well as I said before, we have locations in Pittsburgh, Atlanta, and Denver. Atlanta is still the larger footprint of the organization, but from the private equity and board down, part of my role here in coming to ivision was to grow this market and to lean into that and really build out employee base. So that's what we're looking to do. So
I love it. Cool. It's a great story. My goodness, we need more time to keep talking about that. If people go to ivision.com, they can see the open positions, obviously learn about the different technologies you guys work with.
Yeah, it's great. I'm really bullish on this company. We've done some great things. We've built so much over the past even year in this market. And obviously the partnerships with you guys have really helped with that. So thank you so much.
Audrey, always fun hanging out with you, telling these stories. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're back next Sunday. And if you can't wait till then, just go wherever you get your podcast. Look for Tech Vibe. There's so many interviews about great Pittsburgh companies, just like ivision. This has been Jonathan Kirsting.
And this is Audrey Russo.
Keep on saying it, Audrey. We're from the Pittsburgh Tech Council, where we love helping tech companies succeed. Go to phhtech.org and have yourself an awesome rest of your Sunday, everybody. Thanks for geeking out with us on Tech Vibe Radio. Tune in next Sunday for more tech and innovation stories right here from Pittsburgh. Tech Vibe is brought to you by Compunetics at compunetics.com, Chorus Call at choruscall.com, Highmark at highmark.com, Huntington Bank at huntington.com, Kindling at thekindlingagency.com, PNC Bank at pnc.com, and Savior at savior.com. And we're always coming at you from the Huntington Bank studio.